for this short warm-up sequence, just make sure you are seated with your legs out in front of you. Have your toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Stretch your arms out, palms facing down to begin with. And then you're just going to rotate the wrists 3 times in one direction and 3 times in the other. Hold them there for a count of 3 and then slowly release. Next we're going to do our ankles, but we're going to do them one at a time. So holding underneath the thigh, again you're going to rotate the ankle, first of all in one direction and then the same amount of times in the other, usually between 3 and 5. Release, and the other. Just make sure that you're not leaning too far back. So rotating in one direction, just bringing some movement into that joint, and then in the other, and release. We're going to move to the elbows now, so bring the hands to the shoulders. Begin with one side first, one direction, and then in the opposite direction, keeping the elbow pointing out to the side. Then the other side, and you can do these at the same time if you wish, or you can do just one at a time. So we've done ankles, wrists, elbows. We're now going to do knees. So bending the knee, and it's usually easier to hold at the front of the leg. And we're just going to circle the knee 3 times in one direction and then 3 times in the other. And they don't have to be big circles. Just make sure you are bringing movement into the area. And then the other side, or the other way, I should say. And release. Ensure you are sitting upright on your sitting bones and that you are level both sides. Hands either side with palms on the floor. You can use a block or a towel if you need to have the floor a little bit higher for you to have the arms straight. You can also sit on a rolled up blanket or cushion to elevate yourself if your arms have a bend in them when they're touching the mat. It all depends on your proportion. There's nothing wrong about it, whichever one you choose to do. Just make sure the arms are straight. And then breathe in, reach up and fold yourself forwards. And come back to sitting. Starting in tabletop, we're going to do our spinal stretch. So it's the cat-cow pose. So arching your back to begin with is the cat pose. Keeping knees underneath hips and hands underneath shoulders, and then pushing the ribs towards the mat, pushing your tailbone up and out behind you, keeping shoulders away from the ears and looking ahead. And that's your cow pose. Moving back into the cat pose. Just imagine all your vertebrae moving one at a time. One way and then the other. This can be done 3 to 5 times. Just remember, keep the shoulders back from the ears. And return to tabletop. This is a standing warm-up sequence. So begin in your mountain pose to make sure you are nice and stable. Then bring up the right foot, push it out in front of you a little and rotate the ankle 3 times in one direction and 3 times in the other. Then release and repeat for the left foot. If you need to hold on to anything for balance, then please do so. And then back to your mountain pose. We're going to rotate the neck now, so just allow the chin to dip a little. And then slowly, not overextending, you're going to rotate it 3 times in one direction, taking it nice and slow back to centre, and then 3 times in the opposite direction. And then bring the head back up. Now going to rotate the shoulders. So keeping your arms straight, you're going to bring the shoulders up, back, down, forward 3 times. And then repeat, going in the opposite direction. And return to your mountain pose. You're going to rotate the body now through the waist. So take the right hand to the left shoulder and the left hand behind you, and try to bring the fingertips to the right side of the waist. And then turn to look over the left shoulder. Hold this for a breath. And then bring yourself back to centre. Release the arms and repeat for the opposite side. So the right hand has the palm facing out. Return to centre and release.